Oh yes, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, Apple's latest crown jewel. It's powerful, it's shiny, it's expensive enough to make your wallet cry for help. But wait, what if I told you that this $1,000 beauty comes with a few quirks? And by quirks, I mean problems that will make you question if you bought a premium flagship or a fragile Fabergé egg. Today, we're going deep, and I mean really deep, into the biggest issues plaguing the iPhone 17 Pro Max. From scratches appearing faster than my hairline recedes, to Wi-Fi signals weaker than my gym excuses, to Apple intelligence that's, well, not so intelligent. So grab a coffee, maybe two, because this isn't your average 5-minute review. We're going to spend the next few minutes uncovering all the problems you need to know before you drop a kidney-sized payment on this phone. And yes, calling all viewers, whether you're in the USA or across the globe, tell us your state or country in the comments. Alright, let's kick things off with the issue that's probably sparked the most memes, the most Reddit threads, and the most collective groans from new owners. Scratchgate. Now, if you've just dropped $1,500 on the iPhone 17 Pro Max, you'd expect it to be built like a tank, right? Solid, premium, able to survive the dangerous jungles of your jeans pocket. But nope, this thing scratches faster than a DJ at a music festival. Users are reporting scratches and scuffs within days of owning the phone. Even demo units inside Apple stores already look roughed up. The back glass, the anodized aluminum frame, and especially the camera bump edges seem vulnerable. Imagine walking into an Apple store, seeing the brand new iPhone 17 Pro Max on display, and it already looks like it lost a fight with a set of car keys. That's not a great first impression. Apple says mini marks aren't scratches, but material transfer, meaning the phone picked up residue from chargers or pockets. So basically, Apple is saying, don't worry, it's not damaged, it's just dirty. Which is like saying, don't worry about that dent in your car, it's just character. Sure. The shift from titanium, iPhone 16 Pro Max, to aluminum has made the edges softer. The matte glass finish is more resistant to fingerprints, but ironically more prone to micro scratches. The camera island sticks out more, making it the first point of contact with surfaces. Translation? You bought the most expensive phone in the lineup, but the durability is more like budget Android territory. This thing's allergic to pockets, bags, and apparently, human existence. Owners are noticing fine hairline scratches on day one. Cases and screen protectors are now basically mandatory. Resale value may suffer since cosmetic condition matters for trade-ins. For some people, scratches don't matter functionally, but for a $1,500 luxury phone, it stings. I mean, if I spend that much money, I don't want my phone to look like it's been through 3 divorces after 1 week. At least let it survive long enough for me to show off at the office before it looks secondhand. Use a case, especially one with raised edges to protect the bump. Apply a screen protector, yes, even on the back if you're really cautious. Avoid rough pockets. Coins, keys, even dust can leave marks. For existing scratches, microfiber cloth plus cleaning solution might remove material transfer, but permanent scratches are, well, permanent. So here's the bottom line. Scratchgate isn't going to make your iPhone unusable, but it is going to hurt your pride. Apple built a Ferrari of a phone, but gave it the paint durability of a Matchbox car. Protect it, baby it, maybe even whisper sweet nothings to it if you must, because this phone is as delicate as it is expensive. Now let's talk about the iPhone 17 Pro Max's crown jewel, its camera system. Apple marketed this thing as the Hollywood studio in your pocket. And, to be fair, when it works, it's incredible. The shots are sharp, the zoom is powerful, and the video quality makes professional cameras nervous. But, and you knew there was a but coming, some users are getting artifacts. Black boxes, white squiggly lines. Basically, your $1,500 iPhone sometimes thinks it's Picasso and decides to add modern art to your photos. Not cool, Apple. Not cool. Under certain lighting conditions, concerts, LED panels, bright stage lights, photos and videos show weird black squares or glitchy lines. These artifacts appear randomly and ruin otherwise perfect shots. Sometimes it's only in photos, sometimes it sneaks into video recording. You go to capture a once-in-a-lifetime shot, and your iPhone decides, nah, let's add some Minecraft blocks instead. Perfect. Many users report hearing a clicking or ticking sound when opening the camera app, likely caused by the OIS, optical image stabilization, or autofocus module shifting into place. Apple says it's normal, but for new owners, it can feel like something's rattling inside a $1,500 phone. Apple assures us it's fine, but let's be honest, if I hear clicking sounds in my phone, I don't think, oh, that's the advanced optics working. I think, great, now my phone has termites. The black box issue is believed to be a software bug with image processing under artificial light. The camera's sensor and Apple's computational photography clash with LED flickering frequencies. Apple acknowledged this problem and promised a fix via iOS update. So yes, your iPhone camera is so smart it can detect the flickering frequency of a light bulb, but not smart enough to, ignore it. Casual photography. Most users won't see it. Outdoors and daylight shots are fine. Event photography, concerts, clubs, conferences equals higher risk of glitches. Content creators, a nightmare if you rely on the phone for YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. Imagine being a wedding photographer. You capture the bride walking down the aisle, and your iPhone sprinkles some random black boxes in. Don't worry, it's not a bug, it's just Apple's artistic vision. Update iOS. Apple is rolling out patches. Adjust lighting when possible. Avoid direct harsh LEDs. Third-party apps like Halide sometimes bypass the default processing and reduce glitches. Unfortunately, no permanent fix until Apple refines software. So here's the deal. The iPhone 17 Pro Max still has one of the best cameras on any phone, but it's not flawless. Right now, it's like that friend who's amazing 90% of the time, but every now and then shows up late, adds a weird filter to your photos, and blames the lighting. If you're a casual user, you'll probably never notice. But if you're a pro, or just someone who really hates black squares, you'll want to keep an eye out for those software updates. Because for now, the only box we want to see is the one the iPhone ships in. Alright folks, let's talk about the thing that makes or breaks a smartphone, the battery. Because, let's face it, you can have the most powerful chip, the best display, the fanciest cameras, but if your phone dies by lunchtime, it's basically just an expensive paperweight. And sadly, the iPhone 17 Pro Max, despite Apple's bold claims of all-day performance, has left many users asking, why is my $1,500 phone draining faster than my patience on a Monday morning? Users reporting faster drain than iPhone 16 Pro Max, even on light/moderate usage. Some see 5 to 10% drops overnight while idle. Others claim battery percent falls while simply browsing or messaging. Yep, you can literally lose 3% of battery just staring lovingly at the lock screen. It's like the phone is charging itself to stay alive while draining you emotionally. After major updates, iPhones run background tasks, indexing photos, recaching apps, syncing iCloud, AI training. Apple says this can take a few days and battery drain will normalize. But some users report the drain continues weeks later. Apple's basically telling us, don't worry, it's just temporary. Which is the same thing I tell myself when I open TikTok for 5 minutes, and 3 hours vanish. Not comforting, Apple. Higher refresh rate plus brighter display equals more power draw. AI features, Apple Intelligence, may be running in the background. Poor app optimization, apps not yet tuned for iOS 26, draining more. Heat and charging habits affecting efficiency. So yes, the phone is technically powerful enough to run a small rocket, but apparently not powerful enough to make it through your workday without begging for a charger. Apple claims 29 hours video playback, 95 hours audio playback. Real-world tests show 6 to 7 hours screen-on time with mixed use. Compared to iPhone 16 Pro Max, some users see worse endurance. It's like Apple's math is different from ours. They must be testing battery life by playing a 5-hour meditation track at 1% brightness, in airplane mode, in Antarctica. Casual users, annoying but manageable, extra charging required. Heavy users, gaming, video editing, creators deal breaker, device struggles to last a full day. Travelers, need to carry power banks, which kills the whole point of a Pro Max battery. Update software regularly. Apple has released patches addressing performance and thermal efficiency. Disable always-on display and unnecessary widgets. Limit background app refresh for non-essential apps. Use low power mode proactively, not just at 20%. Optimize charging on at night to protect battery health. In short, baby your battery like it's a houseplant. Too much activity? It wilts. Too little care? It dies. And if you ignore it completely? Well, say hello to your new wall decoration. Look, the iPhone 17 Pro Max isn't exactly a disaster when it comes to battery life, but it definitely feels like a step sideways, if not backwards, compared to the 16 Pro Max. And when you're paying premium, sideways just isn't good enough. So unless Apple's next updates bring a miracle cure, keep that charger close. Because right now, this thing is less all-day battery and more all-day anxiety. Now let's talk about the other big complaint with the iPhone 17 Pro Max, overheating. And no, I don't mean it's a little warm, like holding a cup of tea. I mean it sometimes feels like the phone is auditioning to be a hand warmer for the next Winter Olympics. Users report the phone heats up quickly during gaming, long video recording, or while charging. Some say it gets warm just scrolling social media or watching YouTube for a while. Others notice heat concentrated around the back near the cameras and sides near the processor. Basically, it's like carrying a mini space heater in your pocket. Useful in December, terrifying in July. The A19 Pro chip is extremely powerful, pushing performance that rivals laptops. That power equals more heat, especially during gaming and 4K per 8K video recording. Charging, especially with fast chargers, naturally generates warmth. Background tasks, AI indexing, syncing, updates also cause extra load. Think of it like this. Apple gave this phone the metabolism of a hummingbird. It burns through energy at lightning speed, and all that energy turns into heat. For the first time, the Pro Max includes a vapor chamber cooling system, designed to spread heat more evenly and prevent hot spots. While it helps under sustained workloads, users still report noticeable heat. Apple basically gave the iPhone a tiny air conditioner, but forgot that we live in a world where people play Genshin Impact for 3 hours straight. Gaming. FPS drops when the phone gets too hot, thermal throttling. Video recording. Extended 4K per 8K shoots can trigger overheating warnings. Battery life. Heat shortens long-term battery health. Comfort. Hot phones are unpleasant to hold, especially barehanded. Imagine trying to watch Netflix in bed, and your phone slowly roasts your palm like it's making Eskimo rays. That's not exactly the premium experience Apple advertised. Avoid gaming while charging. That doubles the heat. Remove case during heavy use, especially thick protective ones. Lower screen brightness in long sessions. Use official chargers to prevent excess heat from poor voltage regulation. Keep software up to date. Apple fine-tunes thermal efficiency in patches. And no, putting it in the fridge is not a recommended solution, unless you want iOS to literally freeze. So here's the truth. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is a beast, but all beasts run hot. The vapor chamber helps, but it doesn't make this phone immune to fire hand syndrome. If you're a heavy gamer or videographer, expect some heat. The good news? For most people, it's not dangerous, just mildly annoying. The bad news? You might have to start carrying a fan, not for you, but for your phone. All right, let's move on to something that turns a $1,000 smartphone into a $1,000 paperweight: connectivity. Because if your phone can't hold on to Wi-Fi or cellular signal, it's basically just an overpriced calculator with a nice camera. And unfortunately, the iPhone 17 Pro Max seems to be struggling with this: Wi-Fi dropouts, weak signals, and random cellular ghosting. In other words, Your iPhone is pulling a classic Houdini, disappearing when you need it most. Users report Wi-Fi disconnecting randomly, even when routers are fine. Some say speeds fluctuate, 1 minute blazing fast, next minute crawling. Cellular service issues, dropped calls, weak signal bars, sometimes worse than older iPhones. Bluetooth, also flaky for some. AirPods or Apple Watch failing to auto-reconnect. I lost more calls on the iPhone 17 than I did with my Nokia 3310 back in 2003. And that phone once fell into a swimming pool and still had better reception. New antennas may be overly sensitive to interference. Early iOS 26 software bugs causing Wi-Fi handoff problems. Network congestion or router compatibility issues with Wi-Fi 7. For cellular, could be modem firmware bugs or poor tower optimization. Don't worry, it's not a bug, it's a feature. We call it digital detox mode. Keeps you off the internet when you least expect it. Work users, dropped Zoom calls, laggy downloads. Casual users, annoying interruptions in Netflix, Spotify, social media. Travelers, losing mobile data in transit, frustrating if maps disconnect. Imagine navigating with Apple Maps, and right as you're about to exit the freeway, the phone decides to lose signal. Congratulations, you're now on a road trip to wherever fate takes you. Apple forums are full of Wi-Fi complaints. Tech media has reported it. Apple hasn't officially called it a widespread issue, but has quietly pushed iOS 26.0.1 patches. Updates seem to improve stability for some, but not everyone. So yeah, Apple's official stance is basically, update and pray. Not exactly reassuring, but hey, it's tradition at this point. Reset network settings if Wi-Fi keeps dropping. Forget and rejoin Wi-Fi networks. Clears handshake bugs. Switch to 5 GHz over 2.4 GHz for stable speeds. Turn off Wi-Fi assist if it keeps auto-switching to cellular. Keep iOS updated. Modem and network patches often sneak into updates. And if all else fails, just tether from your friend's Samsung. Embarrassing? Yes. Effective? Also yes. So here's the deal. The iPhone 17 Pro Max has the hardware for next-gen Wi-Fi and 5G, but right now it feels like owning a sports car with a dodgy steering wheel. When it works, it flies. When it doesn't, you're stranded. Hopefully Apple smooths this out in future updates. Until then, keep a backup plan, whether that's a power bank, a second SIM, or, God forbid, actually talking to people in real life. Now we're entering the world of Apple's smart features, Apple Intelligence. This is supposed to make your life easier, your photos better, and maybe even anticipate your every need. In theory, it's like having a tiny genius inside your phone. In practice, well, sometimes it behaves more like a genius who just drank 3 cups of coffee and forgot how to tie their shoes. Features like Genmoji, live text enhancements, image playground, and predictive AI sometimes fail to download or activate. Users report loops where the feature starts loading but never finishes. Other times, Apple Intelligence simply refuses to recognize objects or text correctly. It's like your personal assistant saying, "I got this," and then just staring at the wall for 10 minutes while you panic. Some bugs are due to iOS 26 compatibility issues, older apps, or features not fully optimized. AI features rely heavily on on-device processing and server sync. Network instability or background task overload can break them. Certain features require specific regions, language settings, or Apple IDs, which can cause confusion for international users. So basically, your iPhone is smart until it decides it's smarter than you, and then it just quits working. Classic Apple move. Casual users. Frustration when Genmoji refuses to animate or image recognition fails. Content creators. Image playground glitches can ruin workflow, especially for TikTok or Instagram posts. Students/professionals. Live text errors can make reading PDFs or notes a pain. Imagine you're at a lecture, trying to copy some notes with live text, and your phone decides the text is actually a new abstract language. Thanks, AI. Very helpful. Apple acknowledges minor AI glitches and regularly releases iOS patches to improve stability. Most fixes are software-based, so no hardware replacement is required. Updates sometimes resolve issues temporarily, but some features remain inconsistent for certain users. Apple basically says, just update your phone and everything will be fine, which is like telling someone, just reboot your life, it'll fix everything. Wish it were that easy. Keep iOS and apps updated. Apple constantly tweaks AI performance. Check region and language settings. Some AI features depend on them. Restart the phone if AI features freeze. Limit background apps. Sometimes too many processes interfere with AI calculations. Think of it like your coffee machine. Sometimes it works perfectly, sometimes it just sprays hot water everywhere. Patience and updates are key. So here's the summary. Apple Intelligence is impressive when it works, but it's not perfect. Some features are buggy, some refuse to cooperate, and some will make you question if your phone is really smart or just a diva in disguise. Keep it updated, be patient, and maybe, just maybe, give your AI a pep talk. It might actually start cooperating. Finally, let's talk about the display, the thing you stare at all day, every day. Now, the iPhone 17 Pro Max has a gorgeous OLED screen, buttery smooth refresh rates, and colors that make your photos pop. But even the best displays have their quirks, and this one has a few little surprises that can annoy you more than a mosquito buzzing in your bedroom at 2 a.m. Some users report stuck pixels or green dots appearing on the screen. Minor color shifting occurs with night shift or true tone enabled. Yellows and greens look slightly washed out. Touch responsiveness lag has been noticed under heavy usage or after prolonged uptime. So basically, your screen is perfect, except when it thinks it's being artsy or taking a tiny nap. Thanks, OLED. OLED technology can sometimes produce permanent or semi-permanent pixels that don't refresh properly. Night shift and true tone adjust color temperature dynamically, sometimes causing slight inaccuracies. Heavy multitasking or prolonged usage can slightly impact touch responsiveness temporarily. Think of it like a chef who's amazing 95% of the time, but occasionally sprinkles salt on the dessert by accident. Minor, but noticeable if you're paying attention. Casual users probably won't notice much. A stuck pixel or slight color shift is easy to ignore. Photo and video editors might notice color inconsistencies when precise editing matters. Gamers, rare touch lag can be mildly frustrating in fast-paced games. It's like owning a luxury sports car. One tiny squeak won't stop you from driving it, but you will notice it every time you sit down. Restart your phone if touch responsiveness slows. Update iOS. Apple occasionally fixes display calibration issues. For minor stuck pixels, gentle screen cycling, brightness changes, or screen refresh apps may help. True tone/night shift tweaks. Adjust to preference if colors look off. So yes, the display is mostly flawless, but these small quirks are the little reminders that even Apple's best screens have personality. A few tiny imperfections, and your phone becomes human, sort of. So what do we make of all this? The iPhone 17 Pro Max is a beast of a phone, no doubt. Incredible performance, amazing cameras, when they behave, and features that push the industry forward. But it also scratches easier than a lottery ticket, drains battery faster than you drain coffee on a Monday morning, overheats like it's auditioning for MasterChef, and sometimes loses Wi-Fi like it's playing hide and seek. Now, does that mean you shouldn't buy it? Not necessarily. If you're already an iPhone user and you want the latest, you'll probably still love it. As long as you use a case, keep it updated, and maybe pray a little. But if you're on the fence, well, maybe wait for Apple's next round of fixes, or even the iPhone 18. Who knows? Maybe they'll invent scratch-proof glass and Wi-Fi that doesn't ghost you. Until then, that's been our deep dive into the problems of the iPhone 17 Pro Max. If you found this helpful, or at least funny, hit that like button, subscribe for more tech truths, and drop a comment. What's the worst problem you've faced with your iPhone? And remember, it's just a phone. Unless you dropped $1,500, then it's basically your firstborn child.